Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review and I am your host, the Report of the Week. So here we are, now we're kind of really back to normal. We're doing a food review and on a new pizza at that. Well, it's not a brand new pizza, it's re-released, but you know, we'll go out and we'll say that it's, I guess, I don't know. Well, it is newly released, so I guess it is new, so you got me on that one. But yeah, new Pizza Hut pizza. It's one of their stuffed crust variants, one of their stuffed crust derivatives. That's what they always like to go off of. They always like to say, we got a pizza, and it's got a stuffed crust with this or that, or we're going to make it look this way or that way, or do something with it. And I always like the stuffed crust pizzas. I'm just a fan of them. I think they're kind of fun to eat. And yeah, I've always been a fan of them. I always like them, so it's always exciting to see a release like that, and we'll be trying that one out. I am back, all suited up, so the business casual bra has not made an appearance this time around, because, you know, like my collarbone was all bruised up, but now at least it's gotten a lot better, so I can just go back to wearing the ties and whatnot. But who knows? Maybe one day business casual bra shall make the rounds once again. But I'll sometimes joke. I'll just say, yeah, maybe the fall just damaged my brain so much that that's just what I think a suit looks like now. But you could pretend whatever it is if you want to. You want to have fun with it. But either way, back to the review. Pizza Hut has brought back the stuffed garlic knots pizza, and they originally had it back in 2016. That's when it first came out. So they already released it once. They already said, all right, it's here. It made the rounds, and now we're bringing it back. So I guess it's good enough to bring it back. And unlike the grilled cheese pizza, that one has never came back, and I'm glad for it. That one I wasn't a fan. Best way to put it. But yeah, the stuffed garlic knots pizza. What is it exactly? It's a stuffed crust pizza, but you know, instead of having just a big stuffed crust, they have the cheese, and it's mind you, a cheese blend that they refuse to disclose. So what exactly it is, no one knows. If you do know the secrets as to what is in the cheese blend, you got to be careful though, because I've heard rumors that if you go out and you end up being, let's say, the leaker of that information as to what's in the cheese blend. You know, you open your window at 3 a.m., you look out in front at the street there, and you're going to see a vehicle with the Pizza Hut logo on the top just sitting there. They're on to you, so you just got to really be careful with that. Just tread lightly, so they don't know. No one knows what the cheese blend in the crust is. It's kind of on the same level as, you know, what's in Area 51. No one knows, and they want to keep it that way, so just be ready there. But it comes with 16 stuffed garlic knots with the melted cheese and then the garlic seasoning on top as the crust, and you can pick them off. You can eat them independently. You can try to be like a big boy and eat them in one sitting, or you can take them off, have some garlic knots with the pizza. There's the one video where the people, instead of having a snowball fight, they actually took the 16 garlic knots and were throwing them at each other. But I don't advocate for food fights. I'd rather you just eat them, but it's yours to do with as you want. I'm just getting that out there. And then it comes with marinara sauce as well. Price for this is around $14.99, so it's a little more expensive. I've got an eyelash in my eye. But it's a little more expensive, but it's a novelty pizza. It's a specialty, and that's what it is. Large pizza, though. Maybe that's what I get for trying to break the news about the big cheese secret. But speaking of big, it is a big pizza. Look at this box. It's like as big as I am, practically. And there it is. It says Pizza Hut right there. Kind of going old school, it's nothing crazy. The Papa John's box that we were showing the last time around had so much on it, but this is just, says Pizza Hut with the little red thing up there. No one out pizzas the Hut, that's their saying. And there we go. And that is what it looks like right there. Now, I got it. You could get it with any toppings that you want. There's no set, you have to get it with this or you have to get it with that. There's none of that. Instead, you can just get it any topping. So I went with pepperoni. Then you might say, but Reviewbrah, what are those green things? What is that? Have you been sitting there trying to set up the shot so long that it started growing little patches of grass or some sort of fungi on it? Or what is that exactly? No, no, and they're not jalapeno peppers either. I know I'm living on the edge right now, but no, these are just green peppers that I put on it. So got green peppers and some pepperoni, just changing it up a little bit, and let's just get the shot. You know how it is. I think that's good enough, isn't it? But as you can see, though, there's the pizza, there's the crust, and you can see it comes with 2 marinara sauces, so it actually is complimentary this time around. And you can see the little garlic, I guess the stuffed garlic knots on the crust. I don't know, what slice looks good? How about this one? There we go. Let's get our marinara sauce. It comes in such a big box, I gotta say. So we're gonna do a little bit of transference right there, and we'll just see what it tastes like. Transfer it onto the plate here, which will be for the best. A little more manageable, I say. There it is, pepperoni, green peppers, and then there's those garlic knots right there. You can see, I guess 2 of them right there, 2 for 2. Went through all that trouble trying to get it like that. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to take a few bites of the pizza, and then we'll just try out the garlic knots, and that's what we got. So it is the stuffed garlic knot pizza from Pizza Hut going in. I mean, as with many of these pizzas, pizza itself is pretty unremarkable. I always do one topping. I don't really show it much, but I do like the green peppers. It just goes really well with things. You know, the pepperoni, it has that greasy saltiness, but then a little bit of that freshness, I would say, of the green peppers. It's just really nice. It adds a little bit of, like, it offsets that. It doesn't get too much, but it has that little bit of just a crisp to it, you know? I like it. That firmness, best way to put it. And the sauce is a little more robust than I remember it, which is nice. It's nice anyway. But pizza is unremarkable. Now let's just try out the crust, which is what everyone wants to see. Going in. They call that the void right there. It's just like their stuffed crust, but just a little more doughy, and it has a lot more garlic seasoning to it. It doesn't say to shake well, but shake it a tiny bit anyway. I don't have a problem with it, honestly. You know, the last time the structural integrity was a little worse, but this time, good for dipping too, even in this. Dip it in right there. It's flavorful. My one complaint that I have is, I mean, if you look in there, right, it's not the most cheesy. It's not like the whole thing is stuffed with cheese. You know, you see a little bit where it's settled to the bottom, but a lot of it is like an air pocket. You know, that's my one complaint. Not to say that it's totally lacking in terms of cheese. It's just that I wish it was a little cheesier, you know. Overall, though, I would say It's a novelty pizza. It could be a little fun to eat, like I said. It's just something that I think if you like the stuffed crust pizzas, you'll like this. Just the one thing you have to anticipate before you eat it is that it's not going to be the world's cheesiest pizza. And that's my one principal complaint. It tastes totally fine. I don't have any problem with the flavors. I like that there's a lot of garlic seasoning on the crust this time. It's a great touch. I really like that. Marinara sauce is, of course, really good accompaniment. Not an issue. It's not like it tastes rancid or disgusting, or I'm sitting here, rolling around on top of the table for some weird reason. It's totally fine. So taste-wise, no problems. Again, I just wish it was a little cheesier. I think if you want that extra cheese, just go with the stuffed crust. There'll be more cheese there. But otherwise, again, it's a fun novelty. You can rip it off. You can dip it in the marinara sauce. Plus, I like that it does come with it. But yeah, that's just my one issue. I just wish there was more cheese in it, and that's my complaint. So I mean, easily, it's a fixable issue, but yeah, that's just my one thing. So therefore, out of 10, I mean, price-wise, I mean, it's a fair price. It's like you're getting pizza and garlic knots. Price is what it is. It's a novelty, and it's a big pizza, so I can't bash them there. Wish it was cheesier, but flavor-wise, it's all fine. So out of 10, I'm gonna give it a well, it's around the average mark, so I would give it a 5.7 out of 10. Because again, it's average. It's exactly what you would expect, and while there are a lot of things that I like, again, just the fact that it's not as cheesy as I would have hoped for is just what prevents me from rating it a little higher. But otherwise, I don't have a problem with it. Go out, try it out if you'd like. And yeah, some garlic knots and your pizza. So that's what it comes down to. And that's the stuffed garlic knots pizza from Pizza Hut. Hope you enjoyed the review. That's all that I have for you. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. And yeah, just recovering and snacking on some pizza as well, and all suited up once again. So a good way to support the channel, support the radio show and podcast. New one is up, by the way, through Patreon. Patreon.com/The Report of the Week, so check it out if you're interested. That's all that we have for today's review. A garlicky but tasty pizza, but could do with a little more cheese. That's all that we have for you. Thank you, and do take care.